learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvested. Fear how I feel, then you feel like it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into June 9th, 2020, and the bull market is officially back. If we're speaking in technical terms, but we had another very, very bullish day off of that almost historic and very bullish Friday. This rally has been continuing, but remember, this was our bottom. It took us 16 days to enter into a bear market, the fastest we've ever seen in history, but now technically, from a momentum and price standpoint, we are officially entering in the bull market again. So we have a lot to talk about. I want to go over kind of what happened today, some of the main stuff to be looking out for, as well as some plays that we have. We had another 1,000%er again play we covered yesterday, BYND, but I want to talk about how I'm going to set up. Again, a lot of even crazier moves. Again, we had 1,000%er last week. We sold out, bro. Those plays would have been on Boeing $60 into like 4 or 5 grand. I don't even want it. Would have been like 50 or 60 grand if we held the position. It was insane, but this is a big move. The airlines went up again. We need to talk about rotations and value stocks and what we saw, even the long-term portfolio. You guys saw more surprises today. So we said we wanted to see what happened here on Monday. It was big. Today was a big day. So how we set up for the rest of this week is going to be important. And whatever else happens, man, it's going to be exciting. So I hope you guys are ready, but you know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/thestockmarket. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch this watch list come to life, ask questions, anything. All we ask is that you're positive and respectful. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. You got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post that below and source that information, baby. Shout out to Chad. And I guess one of the plays, I mean, I'm not getting into the plays. There's no lettuce just yet, but Microsoft, shout out random account generator. I think it was Owen, I believe. I don't know, but I love Owen anyways. But we did the Microsoft play, so we got that. But yeah, source that info. So right off the bat, today was very, very, very bullish, but the bull market is only from a technical, again, price standpoint. Like I already showed you, you can kind of just see where the momentum is. And what I want to show you guys is that this is either going to be a correction or a mistake. And now what makes me say that, here is just kind of the history. I mean, it's quite interesting because, again, you're going to see this term bull market, bear market thrown out a lot. So what does it like really mean? I'm not going to get quite into that, but I'm going to kind of talk about more of the broader aspects so you could kind of understand how it is ever changing, but also just where we're at. So there's been 29 bull markets and 29 bear markets since the beginning of the 1900s, literally. But really what I want to come down here, and this is what I mean by the main key, is that this is either going to be a correction or it's going to be a mistake. And this is something that, as I was looking into this, as I saw that some of the headlines and looking at where we're at today, I was like, is it really a bull market? Again, it took us some time. It took us about, I think it was like March 23rd was the bottom. It's now June. So taking 3 months to enter a bull market. Again, that's kind of how the 80s was after one of the 1980s, 87 flash crash and all that. But it's in even 1999 as well too, I believe. So leading into the 2000, the dot-com bubble. But as I was looking into that, this really caught my eye. And this is what I mean, you know, as we go here, there was 2018. This was the whole repo crisis. This was when it peaked out. So in pretty much 3rd of October, it hit 2,600. And then by December 24th, we dropped down to 2,100 on the Dow. Remember, this was October. Let's bring it up here for you guys. So again, just to give you an idea here too, and why this is important, because 2018 really does parallel what we're seeing here. But what happened in 2018, we had that peak on the 3rd, and then we plummeted, and that was the first repo crisis and all of that. But we saw that there, and then now what we just saw here, we saw a peak, and then we hit a new low, and now we're bouncing up. We didn't hit a new low, so you're not really seeing a bull market end or start or anything like that. But now it is just going to be beginning, so we'll put the new high. If we pretty much breach 29,551 on the Dow, you'll see another date right here. But where does this get interesting? This would be a correction. This was a correction. This was a correction. Even 2011, this was the European crisis. All of these were short temporary movements with, after a few months, it was a V-shaped recovery essentially. But now this is what is going to catch all of your eyes, 1930s. 1930s, the Great Depression, these 10 years, they did not get included in here because there was 10 mini bull markets started during this. So they said it was an aberration. This data was very, very different than the other 100 years. So this 10-year period was very unique because it had these bull market starts and stops. So you could kind of see how that plays out throughout the years. So that's what I think we're at right now. And again, we've talked about this. We will talk about this more, especially as we get throughout the year. But my end of the year theory of the end of the year looking like the first 3 months of the year, that's probably going to play out again too. And you could kind of see why. But at this point, we will see. But these days have been very, very bullish. They've been stringed together. More and more data supports it, or even more earnings, it will hold up. But now the next big thing I'm telling you guys to watch out here for the markets in this short term right now, because this is going to make some opportunities here this week, next week, and we'll see how it develops from there. But rotations, because that is going to be key. And with the value stocks, they're coming back now. So if you guys saw your portfolios, the long-term portfolios, some of you got surprised. A lot of the dividend stocks are coming back when it was only growth. So remember this last few weeks, most of this rally was all growth. And then what have we been seeing? Tech stocks have kind of been lagging. They're still doing good, but now some of the real oomph of this move is coming from the dividend stocks. And now when the markets are bad and you start to see them kind of get a little better and there's some optimism, people are going to start rotating into those. So keep an eye out for that, because if there is going to be the next wave, it is going to come from these some of these more slower mover stocks. If that doesn't occur, we'll even get a better idea of kind of how the market is taking all of this. So there is that. And the final thing is that global politics is pretty much the only other X factor we have right now. Otherwise the market is going to find its price based on digesting everything that it has up until this point, what we've seen, and then it's just going to react accordingly to any news. And the only things that could really set it off course, think equal and opposite reactions. It's going to take a decent sized force to move it on, and that could be actual data, that could be a second wave, that could be the protests and riots getting worse, it could be all sorts of things, or again, stuff like the trade war, geopolitics, even Russia, North Korea, Iran, anything of that nature. But right now, even the virus is keeping a lot of people at bay to a degree. It's very, very, very weird. But this is summer. You don't have anything substantial until more data and more earnings comes out to really move the market. So again, finding this range is going to be important, or we might already be in there. But until then, we will see. Welcome to the bull market. I hope you are ready. Hopefully you've been pleasantly surprised with longer dated calls, depending on how you had it. The long term may have surprised you too, but get ready, baby. So let us get into the plays. Right off the bat, I have a few plays we're going to go over. I only made one play. I took some profits. We'll talk about that beyond play and how we exited. But the first play I made today was on Walmart. So I talked about this yesterday. Got it within 3 minutes of the market opening. I really like this play. It was a decent size or decent price, and I think it actually still ended up going up in value. They moved a little bit weird. If you saw Walmart's chart, it was pretty awkward today, because it dropped and it came up, so it still closed red, but it has one of those like red-green candles. It's weird, but again, same trend has been picking up, and now, like I said, is one of the keys. It's really, really weird to see, because typically Walmart should be like HD or MO, or I don't know if I have McDonald's up there, but a lot of these growth stocks, you could see, this is their time to move. But then again, Walmart has been one of the stocks that it had its time to shine during this. So I'm going to watch that. That's why I got time on it, scaled in. I went $100. I was going to go on the small account, but I was like, this is just kind of a little hunch. I'm scaling in on it. I don't really have an event or specific news, so I didn't want to risk it with that account. I only have $100 cash, or like $200, and we're still holding that NVIDIA play. So that was the first play that I made today. Besides that, the other play that I made was Beyond. So this one, I got clapped. Remember, I talked about this on the watch list. I said Beyond was pretty much I said it was either going to go or it was going to drop, and sure enough, it went, baby. 20%, and again, anything above 150 was big, but 160, this is the highest it's been in 2020. This is bringing us back to the first time Beyond went crazy. So again, we hit this first run-up. You guys remember that? We made a lot of money on this, and that was a huge run-up, but it got capped at 130. So I'm a little disappointed that I could have played this better, but I'm excited because I stuck with my strategy. We played it just like the Boeings. It went up. This play had a little bit less of time. I was a little sketched out on it. So I sold out half of them. I had 5. I sold back 3, bought them at 50 cents, got my initial investment back. And then today it started to go up. I sold 1 at 400. This is exactly what I did with the Boeing. I sold 3 out at $1, and then it went up to $500. I sold 1, and then I held the last one. So I'm still holding that last June 19th, but we're going to talk about this. I mean, I'm expecting this to move. There's going to be an opportunity to double dip on it, and I'm going to come back to this play. So even though I only have 1 contract, even though I like the upside, I'm going to ride that other contract out. I think BYND could go crazy, but pretty much what I'm going to wait for, you're going to have your double dip on Friday, when now after it's going to move, there's going to be a chance for contracts to really, really lose value and surprise if it has a crazy Friday move, or next week. Pretty much BYND is going to go crazy between now. It's already making, again, these 20% moves at this level. It will go crazy. It's going to hit some crazy high. Then it's going to have a really, really big drop, and then we are going to double dip. But we have to make sure that the contracts and option prices reflect a good deal. Otherwise, it is very, very easy to get clapped now because these options are crazy. Again, we bought them last week for $50. They're now going for $400, and they are still, as a reminder, $30 out of the money. So they were $60, $70 out the money in this morning. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a crazy play, but we're already in it. We're exiting out now. I'm going to be able to ride that on the way up, but I am still looking pretty much by the time I'm ready to roll over, that will be the double dip, or the day after, 2 days after we exit fully, we'll be able to come in, and then that leads to the next play, Boeing. So I talked about this yesterday. I looked at it, and again, Boeing was crazy too. We would have made even more money on our contracts, but I mean, we talked about that in that video on Thursday. Or Sunday, excuse me. I said, you can't really be too sad if you miss out on gains. A win is a win. Same thing even with that BYND play, but I'm waiting on there. So what I wanted to do was sell calls. My idea was sell premium because now the calls are going to be really high. I wanted to sell premium, let this depreciate, let it come down, and then make money on the calls dropping that we sell, and then when it's time to buy back in. So I'm going to look to that. I might get a little risky here because, again, it's moved up a lot, but Boeing could do some crazy stuff, but this is good because you have to understand now, in both BYND and Boeing, this is going to set up an opportunity for crazy puts, or when it does drop, and then if it makes another move, that could really be it. So again, it's getting bullishness, and things are starting to tick up. So get ready for that, but watch those. And then finally, Wells Fargo. I talked about it. I was looking at it. We got those JP Morgan plays. Those are still up about 100%. I want the bank rotation. So again, we're talking rotation. You're seeing the value stocks. And again, I have a list of the values you could look at, but you're seeing these rotations. I like the banks. I like Wells Fargo, but I'm not really in a rush because the banks went up today. So they were up 2.5%. They went up with the market. I'm kind of either looking for an inverse or a lagger, a leader, but I am going to be watching that to see if there's good deals on there. But that was pretty much it. Again, the main plays I'm going to be setting up is going to be looking at the BYNDs and the BA, but I think BA is probably going to be the main play I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I will see, but assuming we get some mixed signals with the market, I will look to sell that premium on the call side tomorrow. I didn't like the credit spread, so I might do a naked call. We will see. But so watch Boeing. I'm going to keep my eye on HD as well. I want to set up either a credit spread or even just see if there's premium, but they've been pretty expensive. But watch them. Again, this is a value stock. See how people rotate. See how they move even in comparison with the S&P and the market in general. Going to keep an eye on Boeing. Walmart too. Again, that was my first $100, so I want to see how it plays. But in the next few days, I might even want to get more, but I'm going to keep watching that. Then Starbucks, I like how values have moved. And again, we've looked at McDonald's and Home Depot, but take a look at Starbucks. Don't forget, they also did good with earnings before everything. They didn't have like a big upside like Walmart and anything like that. So I think they could be good. The contracts usually are cheap, but it can be expensive. And remember, it's not a big mover. It takes a lot to move Starbucks. So if you're too far at the money, that may be a big reason why it's really cheap. But then watch them. FedEx kind of meets the same criteria, was beaten down a lot more than Starbucks, but I'm going to be watching them tomorrow. NVIDIA, they dropped, and pay attention. Now, again, rotations, pay attention to laggers and leaders. See who actually ended up dropping, and they dropped $5 today. So we're still in that credit spread. We still have another week or so on it, but NVIDIA is very, very interesting. But pay attention. They are one who lost, but still in that play. I will look at calls here because if there's a rotation and the chip makers start to go up, again, you saw BYND's chart. NVIDIA could be like that, but again, NVIDIA has already had an awesome run, so we'll see. But watch them. Going to be watching McDonald's. We're still down on that credit spread, almost to the max now, so we still got time on it, but I didn't really find a play on it today, but I will look again. Altria, they went up. And again, these are some of these value stocks, even McDonald's too, AT&T. Pay attention to how well they're doing. And in our portfolios, it's weird now, we are back up on them. So if you guys on the long terms, you kept saying it's very, very surprising. We are only down on these small positions since we've started this thing, and these were most of them are value stocks, but we're like barely down on, like, we're talking $3.30. Everything else we're up on. So all of our positions that we bought, like way down at the bottom, the AT&Ts and Altrias, they've all came back up. This Altria is still a little bit down, but no, where's this one? Yeah, we're up 3%. I was down on this almost 2 or 3 days ago. So again, paying attention to these is important, and watch if there's more momentum. Essentially, if this continues for more than just today, that will be important. So watch them. Watch Johnson & Johnson. That's another one. And again, they're kind of having that Walmart effect. Watch out for them. Wells Fargo, we talked about, still holding the JP, and then NVIDIA's. And then finally, I know you guys want TLT. Guess what? There's nothing yet. I know you could wait and watch. We'll see if there is more upsets in volatility, or we'll check the pricing. But mainly now, gold, I'm going to double check. Remember, I said I wanted them when the fear was kicking in, or I think it was like around here. Then I said I'm going to wait. They dropped. It's dropped a little bit. It's not dropping too much, but I want to see the pricing on it. Doesn't mean I'm going to pull the trigger, but I'm interested in it because I think it's interesting that they went up today, and maybe we might start to see that effect where if the dollar weakens, stock goes up. Now gold will kind of catch some of that trend. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining, and all you need to do is listen. You don't need to learn anything else. Listen and listen to what you already learned, what you already got, baby, and control the budget. Balance the budget. Take it slow and relax, baby. No pressure. Shout out to long term. Shout out to Colt, baby. The Colt loves you. I love you. I'm gonna see you in the morning. Let's go.